That was disturbing. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse Live. Doing a live post-game show here on a Friday night after the New York Knicks hosted the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo Timberwolves at MSG. And they lost. They collapsed in the fourth quarter. We're going to talk about it. I'm disturbed by this loss, personally. I did not see pride. Pride is the word. Where is your home court pride? This should have been a win. I'm not saying that you roll over the Timberwolves like we did in Minnesota. We were without Karl-Anthony Towns once again. The sprained thumb. He's got to nurse it, and I'm fine with that. I'd rather do that. Sims got the start, and Sims definitely displayed a lack of an offensive package. He showed a lot of heart, a willingness to fight for rebounds and deflections. He did all of that, but when he actually had the ball in his hands to convert that to actual points, he just doesn't have it. That was on display again tonight. And why didn't we see Hawk Porty as an alternative? I don't know. A lot of things were kind of inexplicable here tonight. And I'm going to put this loss, again, on the coach, Tom Thibodeau. I am. I just don't get why he continues to do the things he does. We're going to get into that. Let's keep moving here. New York Knicks lost tonight, 116-99. Now, let's look at this right here, right now. This is the lead tracker. Look at that fourth quarter. Basically just surrendered, just parted their butt cheeks and let the Timberwolves do whatever the fuck they wanted tonight. That's what happened here. 3-point shooting, they just lit it up. I mean, look at it. The Knicks led only like twice. Once for like a minute in the first quarter, and like a little blip in the second quarter. They took the lead and then immediately surrendered it back to the Timberwolves. I get these guys are tired. I get Thibodeau is an impediment. He is actually an impediment to the players being able to be the best version of themselves right now. If you don't like the minutes discussion, then you should just check out right now. Seriously. Because I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, this is just the reality of life right here. The quality of players that are on this team should be achieving much higher than they are right now. And there's only one reason for that, and that is the coach. He's fried the fuck out of them in the first 30 games or so, or even earlier. I mean, just completely cooked them since the beginning. But everyone's, oh, well, why? Come on. It's just logic. It's just logic, man. Let me ask you a question. When you work an 8-hour day and then you're asked to work an additional 3 or 4 hours, how good is the quality of work you do in those additional 3 or 4 hours? I can answer that question for you because I've been asked to do that many, many times, and it's shit. It's crap. It's garbage. Unless it's assembly line shit where you just like dun, 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 repetitive motion stuff. But if you have to think and people are coming at you and there's variables, it's very hard to stay sharp in those additional 3 or 4 hours. That is what's happened here. Average players play 32 minutes, 34 minutes. That's a lot, 34 minutes. Not 40, not 44 over extended periods of time in the most competitive league in the world. That's what's happened here. And then we have a coach who he brain farts himself. I think he's overworking himself. Where the fuck was Cam Payne in that third quarter? The Knicks could not score a bucket in the third quarter. They scored 19 points in that third quarter? And we won it. I think 19-18 was that third quarter. When I saw that, I was like, what? And then Cam Payne. All right, let me get to this. Cam Payne off the bench. 18 points, 7 of 10, 4 of 5 from the three-point line. He's the only reason we were even close in the first half. And then 10 minutes and 1 second ticks by. And then he finally puts them in the third quarter. After an insanely hot first half from Payne, Thibs waited 10 minutes and 1 second to get him back in the game. Holy fuck, man. Take advantage of what you got. What was the thinking here? He's obviously scorching tonight. Get him in earlier. Give your other guys a rest. Or pick somebody, Hart, whatever. Hart, like, he had his shoulder hurt. I mean, he definitely could have used a little more rest. He ended up playing 40-something minutes. Look at this. Look at this guy. He didn't score anything in the second half. Scored nothing in the second half because he only played in the second half 5 minutes. Only was able to get one shot off. Now, are the Timberwolves a very good defensive team? Yes, they are. They're a very good defensive team. No doubt. No doubt about that. But are the Knicks supposed to be a great offensive team? Yes. Are we missing Karl-Anthony Towns? Yes. But we have enough elements here. You can make a great meal. Even when you're missing a key ingredient, you can still make a great meal. Tonight was a blunder. It was garbage in that fucking fourth quarter. I am completely infuriated by this. This is a terrible loss. I'm telling you. Even though Karl-Anthony Towns is not in the game, this wasn't the second game of a back-to-back. We're playing at home. It's Friday Night Knicks. All the hype, Celebrity Row, everything is there, set up for you to give your fucking best. But you know what? I think these guys, they have already given their fucking best. They're so, pushed to the edge. They couldn't make a bucket in the fourth quarter. They couldn't make a bucket in the second half. Let me show you these stats. This is the second half, right here. Second half, Timberwolves shoot 53% overall, 47% from the three-point line. Knicks shoot 22% from the three-point line. They couldn't even crack 28% overall in the second half. Second half we're talking about. Josh Hart, 1 for 8. Mikal Bridges, 2 for 9. 1 for 5 from the three-point line. 0 for 4 for Hart from the three-point line. Jalen Brunson, who was scorching in the first half, in his 18 and a half minutes, he could only do 4 of 10. He did get to the free throw line, hit all 5. That's great. Gave us 13 points. Have no issues with that. OG Anunoby had a great third quarter. He had 10 points in that third quarter, but only 3 in the fourth quarter. Minus 10 for OG Anunoby. Minus 20 for Josh Hart. Minus 9 for Jalen Brunson. Minus 8 for Mikal Bridges. Our starters sucked tonight. Look at the bench. Barely played at all. Kolek got in for a minute and 11. Dadier and Hawkporty. But Deuce did not even get double digits in minutes played tonight. Actually, this is the second half. Sorry, this is the second half. Let me look at the whole box score here. I have no highlights tonight. There's nothing to look at with this game. There's nothing to learn in this game. The Knicks shot 38.9% overall. They did shoot 41.2% overall for the game because they were scorching hot in the first half. They shot 62% in the first half from the three-point line. And a lot of that was Campaign with his 4 or 5 from the three-point line. But in that second half, it was a whole other story, man. Whole other story. Knicks lost this game by 17 points. That is utterly shocking to me. Utterly shocking. Especially when you think about, most of the time, they were within single digits. 6 points, 5 points. They even tied it late in the third quarter. Tied it right there. But then in that fourth quarter, nothing was left. Nothing in the tank. We look at the team comparisons here. The Knicks were out-rebounded. They were out-assisted. Only 19 assists for the Knicks. The Knicks did get 10 steals. I think a lot of that was in the first half, mind you. And we got 4 blocks, more blocks than the Timberwolves, which is totally shocking. And didn't turn the ball over much. So we were right there. We were right there. If we could come out with a good effort in that fourth quarter, and maybe if Thibs had extended the bench a little more, buy some minutes for the starters who are already drained. They already have dead legs. You heard Clyde say it himself. The greatest Knick of all time said it himself. Tired legs. So stop being in denial, all of you, and Thibs, and Leon. Wake the fuck up, bro. You are letting potentially the best season the Knicks have had since 1994 slip away. Because our coach won't develop the bench. Remember, the bench doesn't practice. They don't scrimmage. There's no scrimmages. So the only time to learn and get better is actual minutes on the fucking court, which they don't get. They never get it. So your expectation level has to be adjusted. Give them time. I would rather have lost this fucking game and seen the bench had like 4 guys with a double digit in minutes tonight. It's still a fucking loss. So what are you guys arguing about? You want him to keep frying the fucking starters? Is that what you want? I am fucking sick of this shit. The ingredients are there. They're being mishandled. Do they need additional ingredients? Yes. Every team does. But they have them here now. We have them. But we have a coach who refuses to embrace reality. Second chance points, cooked by 8. Fast break points, we did win that somehow, 10-8. Points in the paint, we lost that 36-34, so pretty much a wash in points in the paint and fast break points. So second chance points were a -8 right there, and that pretty much, was the difference in the game for a long period of time until it was a total collapse in the fourth quarter. Look at this, 55% they shot from the three-point line. They're the 4th best three-point shooting team in the league. You think your coach and your coaches and your players would be prepared for this team, especially after the walloping we handed to them in Minnesota. You'd think you'd be prepared for them to come into the Garden to try to enact revenge, which they did in a very, rewarding fashion for them. Sucks for us as Knicks fans. I'll get to the chat a little later. I'm just doing this right now. This is Thibs post-game. I didn't get to watch it myself. I haven't watched this post-game because I was prepping and jumped on this, but this New York Basketball tweeted this out. We didn't cover the line the way we needed to go, the way we needed to. Got beat off the dribble. Gave up second shots. Edwards, a tough cover, but you have to have the ability to do more than one thing. Naz Reid, we leave him open. He's going to make those. Right there. So what's your response, Thibs? What would you have done differently? Why didn't anyone ask him that? I don't know. Maybe they did, but I would ask him that. Okay, that's cool. I agree with everything you're saying. So what the fuck could you have done to change this up? Nothing? Just, sorry, that's it. You know what? That's it. My players, okay, that's it. That's all I can do. No! This is the fiercest competition in basketball in the world. You have to be at your optimum. Not this. Ian Begley. Naz Reid went 6 for 6 from beyond the arc tonight at MSG. Naz Reid, who got 25 minutes of play, not 18 like Campaign. Campaign could have been our Naz Reid tonight in the second half. Or look elsewhere. Get Pacom Dadier in there. The guy can shoot the three. He's a fucking great three-point shooter. He's only 19. He's fearless. Find out how big his balls are. You're never going to find out unless you put him in those situations. Well, shout out to Naz for getting his jersey retired at Roselle Catholic in New Jersey. Reed finished with 23 points and 8 rebounds off the bench in Minnesota's 17-point win over the New York Knicks. Alan Hahn warned everyone about three-point shooting in the pregame show on MSG tonight with the stat of the night. Minnesota came in fourth best shooting threes, averaging over 15 three-pointers made per game. Two of the last 3 home games, Knicks allowed 14-plus threes to OKC and Detroit. Now it's 3 of 4 at home. This is an issue. It definitely is an issue. I no doubt agree with that. Definitely is an issue. The New York Knicks in the last 10 games. Go back over here. New York Knicks in the last 10 games are 4-6. Under 500 in the last 10 games. They are averaging in fourth quarter. They are getting beat. They are a minus 0.2 in the fourth quarter in the last 10 games. And that's why you're losing. That's why you're underwater right here. Something has to be done fairly soon. Either Leon or one of the coaches on the bench or somebody, or maybe it's Brunson himself, Jalen, has to go to Thibs and talk to him and say, hey, man, how about for the next 10, 15 games or so, we expand to a legit 10-man rotation. We just take the bumps as they go. Look, I mean, they could have done it now. They're playing 400 basketball right now. They say for the next 10 games, let's just get guys as much rest as possible, and let's try to develop some of these other guys. It should be Leon who's doing it. It could have been Johnny Bryant last year. We're missing Johnny Bryant. That is something that maybe has gone under the radar. How much we're missing him. He might have been the somewhat voice of reason who actually resonated within Thibs' brain. Now, look, there's no doubt Thibs is a great coach. But no matter how great you are, you still have weaknesses. You still got to work on them. That's why Michael is the GOAT, because he constantly worked on his weaknesses. He wasn't a great shooter. Michael was not a great shooter. LeBron wasn't a great shooter. But they worked at it. Look at LeBron. LeBron could barely make a three-pointer when he came into the league for like the first, 8 years or something. Like he didn't even understand a three-point shot or the value of it. But he learned. We need Thibs to learn right now. We need him to make another leap himself, because this is getting ridiculous. Because this is what's going to happen. This 4-6, if we keep going the same way, could end up being 2-8. And we're still burning the starters. So then post All-Star break, all right, we get a little bit of rest. Maybe we get a little bit of lift in the legs. But then come mid-March, from mid-March to the end of the season, these guys could be fried. So then the first round comes around. Who knows? Maybe we end up facing Detroit in the first round. Would you like that? A young team, a hungry team, with live legs who go 10 deep. Is that what you want? No, I don't want that. So stuff has to change, and has to change fast. All right, we hear the detailed stats here. Bridges, 17 field goal attempts to give us 15 points. 39 minutes for him. OG, 5 of 10. OG had a good offensive game today. He did have a good offensive game. But that fourth quarter, what did OG do in the fourth quarter? 1 of 2. That's it. After scoring 10 points, after scoring 10 in the third quarter, right here, 10 in the third, he could only score 3 points in the fourth quarter. Now, we don't have Cat to save these guys. So that means everyone had to up their makes. OG, Hart, McCall, they couldn't. 3 points for OG in 8 minutes of play. 3 points for McCall in 7+ minutes of play. 5 points for Josh in 12 minutes, but a 1 of 5 from the field? Most of his points came at the free throw line. 1 of 5 for Mr. Josh Hart with the bad shoulder because he got shoved by McDaniels into Sims's like fucking rock hard shoulder. And then he went down and then he went to the locker room. He was gone for a little while. Minus 14 for Josh Hart in that fourth quarter. Look at this fourth quarter. 35-21. We lost that fourth quarter by 14 points. That's an embarrassment at MSG. That is a pure embarrassment right there. I'm going to check out the chat. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. Friday night. Knicks. What's up, Drew? Reviews. Tendril Gideon. What's up, brother? We're campaigning for campaign. Thibs needs to go to his Gucci bag and make smarter in-game decisions. Payne was being a pain in the Wolves' rear, and he didn't utilize him in the second half. Exactly. Beautifully said. What's up, Kevin Loves? Gangstar. Replace Thibs with artificial intelligence bots. That's Tendril. That's pretty funny. Forget about pride, George. Please explain me why the fuck Achua playing center against Gobert. That is a great question. I mean, I can't even answer that question, honestly. It makes zero sense to me. You know, he's 6'7". Achua against a 7'3". Is that Gobert's like 7'4"? I think 7'4". I mean, that's crazy. I don't get that. I don't have a reason for that. And also, he was wide open at 3-point line a couple times. Didn't even look at the rim. There was a play in that third quarter or fourth quarter, definitely it was the second half, where Achua, the ball came his way. He's at the top of the arc. I think Gobert was maybe 9 feet away from him. He could have let it fly. Instead, he tucks the ball down and has no plan. He doesn't know what to do. Then he starts looking for someone else like it's a hot potato. Who do I give this to? You, motherfucker. Shoot it. You're right there wide open. You're 6'7", 6'8". Shoot the fucking ball. Make that 3. Extend the fucking defense. Be a part of the team. Structure. Just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. I will not be going long tonight. Just wanted to go live and hear you guys' thoughts right away. This was just a very disturbing loss to me personally. And I feared something like this was going to happen. I actually thought it was going to happen in a different way. I thought Randall was going to come in and Julius and punish us. Who knows? Light us up for 44 or something like that and pull away with the win. He was like basically a non-factor tonight. So that didn't happen, but it didn't matter because they had Anthony Edwards and Naz Reid. Anthony Edwards, 36 points, which most of that was in the second half. 23 points for Naz Reid. Their bench provided 32 points. Nice. They shot 53.2% overall, 55% from the three-point line, 42 of 40. It's almost impossible to lose in the NBA if you put up 43-point shots and you connect on 55% of them. It's nearly impossible to lose, and that's why the Knicks could not pull off this win tonight. Let's look at the team charts here. Knicks shot 38.9% overall, even though they had an additional 11 field goal attempts. than the Timberwolves. They shot a good percentage from the three-point line, 14 of 34, but they shot 6 additional three-point shots. If we had shot 6 additional, maybe we hit 4 of them. Maybe it's, 18 of 30 or 18 of 40. And then, okay, now we're getting closer. We can do something. The free throw line, there weren't barely any free throw shots in the first half. I think 7 total combined for the actual free throw shots for both teams. But in the second half, it picked up a little bit. The Knicks, once again, were good from the free throw line, 82.2%, but only 17 attempts. The turnovers, we actually were a +7 in the points conceded off turnovers, so that was nice. Just the largest lead they had was 17. The largest lead we ever had was 3. We were basically chasing them for most of the game, and you can see the assist, only 23 for them, 19 for us. That's atrocious, but we lost the rebounding battle, which you would expect without Cat and Gobert, and you're facing Gobert and Randall, who's a decent rebounder, but I don't know if I don't even know what his stat line was worth tonight. Actually, let's look back. Randall had 7 rebounds. All right, 8 for McDaniels. Yeah, nice for them. The plus-minus tells a very, very clear story. Josh Hart in total for the whole game was a -24. Brunson was a -16, which is close to what did we end up losing by? 17? What did we end up losing by? Yeah, 17. So there you go. -18 for OG, even though he had 18 points. He had a double-double tonight, 18 points and 10 rebounds for OG and 3 assists. 15 points for Macau, but he was a -21. Campaign had 18 points, was a +2. Campaign and Deuce McBride were the only plus players tonight for the New York Knicks. And Deuce did not even have a good offensive game tonight. Man. What's going to happen with this team? What is going to happen with this team? Now I'm really asking that question. Let's pull up the schedule coming up here. Because it's tough. We have a tough schedule. Okay. All right, here we go. So we have the Hawks on Monday. So we got Saturday off, Sunday off, and Monday they play. So they have an additional day in between the next game. That's going to help. Definitely is going to help rest those starters minutes. Hopefully it's enough time for Cat to get back. That is a game. That's, to me, if you're talking about a team that seriously wants to contend, to me, that is nearly a must-win type game. You don't want to lose to the Hawks again. You want to change that narrative that's been going on with the Hawks and the Knicks. You don't want, Trey to be throwing dice again on half court at MSG anymore. So that is a must-win game. And then they play a back-to-back. But it's in Brooklyn. They play the Nets. We've done well versus the Nets. So let's see if we can pull that out. Those 2 games would be nice wins to kind of get back on track. And then the Knicks host the Kings on Saturday. So they'll get Wednesday off, Thursday off, and Friday off. So then 3 nights. So this is a nice period of rest that's coming up for the Knicks. They're going to play 3 games in 9 days. 3 games in 8 days. 3 games in 8 days. Okay, 3 games in 8 days. That's good. That's finally we might be able to recharge our batteries to some extent. And then on Monday they play the Grizzlies, who the Grizzlies are a very, very good team. And then the Nuggets on Wednesday, January 29th. Look at this. Other than the Nets, No one's easy. And the Nets aren't even easy. So the Hawks, look at that, plus 500 record. They're battling for a playoff spot. Kings, plus 500 record. They've won 7 straight since Mike Brown was fired and Doug Christie took over. Good for them. The Grizzlies, they look reinvigorated. They're finally healthy-ish. They have basically almost similar record to us. And then we have the Nuggets, same story. This is going to be a tough stretch. Five. If the Knicks can go 3-2 during this next 5-game stretch, I'll take it. But this is something where we should go 4-1. There's only one road game, and doesn't even count as a road game during this period, and that's against the Nets. So we should take care of business here, even though the opponents are tough. Then we have the Lakers on February 1st. And that means they have Thursday and Friday off. So actually, we do have a nice stretch of lots of days of rest coming up. That could make a big difference. I think it's definitely time to bring up TJ Warren. I mean, what's Matt Ryan doing on the bench there? He's just, no offense to Matt Ryan. I wish he was getting some minutes. Landry Shamet. On a night when one of your starters can't play, Karl Anthony Towns, your leading scorer, you don't even see a whiff of Landry Shamet tonight. I mean, I don't know. I'm stunned. I'm stunned by the decisions made tonight in this game. And it just kept unfolding and unfolding. And I'm like, what's happening here? I will say this. After this stretch of games that we just talked about here, if by February 1st the rotation hasn't been expanded, then and we haven't, basically won like 5 out of 6, 4 out of 5 or whatever, I may have to readjust my expectations for what this team can do this season. Yeah, I know Mitch is out there to come back, and he could help a lot. But what Thibs is doing right now is going to create so much damage that it cannot be undone. And I'm not even talking about the possibility of maybe someone actually getting a real serious injury. We saw what happened with Josh Hart today. So I am becoming very concerned. Very, very concerned. Oh, man. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here today on this live Knicks postgame. I wish it was a happy one. I really do. Shout out to the chat. Shop friends. Black. Navpreet Singh, what's up, brother? I haven't seen you in a while. Leon Mitchell. It's soon going to be wait until next year. I mean, tell you, man, that'll be a major mistake. You don't get these opportunities. They're not. You can't bank on an opportunity. You can't bank on this opportunity presenting itself next season. You can't. Some crazy injury could happen, or some other player on another team could make a huge leap. Look what Jared McKean was for the Sixers. If he hadn't gotten injured, that team would be cooking right now. Whatever, it doesn't matter with Embiid. That kid exploded. He is a legit NBA player. Could even be all-star level. Him with Tyrese Maxey. Who knows what's going to happen? Nothing stays the same. Everything's in constant flux. So while you're in a pocket where you're succeeding, you got to take advantage of that and play to your strengths. Right now, we are limiting our strengths by overplaying our best players. That's just the fact of life. Don't want to see Trey on Monday. I know. I'm with you. That wouldn't be fun. Giving up Debo did hurt this season. Yeah. I think it's still. I don't think that's the reason we're in the situation we're in. Definitely, do we miss him? Absolutely. I think Thibs. It's mostly Thibs' his inability to develop another player on the bench that he can trust and go to. I think that's on Thibs himself. Got what's up, Arnold Cruz? George had to say, but running a 8 to 9 man rotation is a recipe for the same. I hope we change, but we need a bench. We do need a bench. We do need a bench. I'm saying we need additional resources, but we also need to explore the ones we have. We haven't. I mean, Huck Porty. What? He gets like minutes the other day, and then nothing. Then Sim starts today, and then nothing for Huck Porty until it's garbage time. That's, to me, that sounds like insanity. Just pure insanity. Chuplaka says, well, this is a 3-4 year experiment. Hopefully with more cap space, we can take advantage and hopefully a deeper bench. Yes, but look, salaries kick in, contracts. We're going to have to like re-sign, who do we have? Bridges. Now we have to deal with Bridges. Soon, you think Jalen Brunson's going to give us a discount again on the next contract? No, the guy's like the best point guard in the East. So he's not going to give us this kind of discount again. This is the time. Now we got to make these moves to make this happen. All right. Going to wind down. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, my name is George. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And hit the thumbs up button for me. Turn on the notification bell so you're alerted when I do go live or drop a video. Definitely drop your comments if you guys have thoughts later on or you're rewatching this. Drop your comments. I read them all. I will reread the chat here, the live chat right here. We'll have to wait till Monday. Hopefully, Cat, his thumb, the swelling on the thumb goes down, and he's able to play on Monday. We really need to get back on track and beat the Atlanta Hawks at MSG on Monday night. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Tonight, this game was nearly intolerable for me to digest and accept. It's a horrible loss. Horrible loss. So we cannot repeat this horrible loss on Monday against the Atlanta Hawks of all people, who are actually in the East. Who knows? We may even face them in the first round. You never know how things are going to shake out. So Thibs has one extra day to open his mind up and figure out how to blend his bench players in with his starter players in a way where it doesn't drop off and actually we gain an advantage. That is the coach's job because the players are willing to do it. I mean, tonight he had a guy off the bench who came in and gave him 18 points in the first half and then waited 10 minutes to bring him back into the game. So think about that. 10 minutes, the 15 minutes at the halftime, and then 25 minutes, and then whatever additional minutes after in the second quarter when he came out. So that's 30 minutes of game time, which in lifetime, that's probably an hour. That 45 minutes to an hour, campaign just sat on the bench. This guy was scorching hot. He was a weapon that presented itself. And because of your methodology of coaching, your template coaching, you didn't think, hey, you know what? Let me get this guy in at the 8-minute mark of the third quarter. Terrible. Okay, thank you so much for watching this. I probably will do a video over the weekend. I'm pretty sure I will do a video over the weekend. A little deeper dive on the whole situation. It's not the end of the world. I'm just pissed at what happened in this game because this game was winnable and it's in your home court. And you cannot lose to the Timberwolves like this, but it happened. So I'm more appalled by that in terms of pride and in terms of making a statement. So now we're fumbling, we're tumbling. We're still in third place, though, in the East, but that could go away. That could slip away. I mean, I showed you guys in the last 10 games, we're 4-6. So another 10 games of that, it might be hard to hold on to that third seed. Might be, and other teams are going to get hot. So those are the things to be worried about. All right, shout out to Gideon, Arnold, Tendril, the Brooklyn Knicks fan, Drew Reviews. Thanks so much for joining me here tonight. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's fucking get this thing going again.